Hi there puzzlers. I was looking back over some of my earlier videos, and the very first videos I did was for a puzzle called Hot Air Balloon Valley, which was a Ravensburger puzzle, 500 pieces. I think at the time I created 5 videos for that one, but what I've done is I've pulled them all together and I've made them into one long cozy chat video, so you can see the full build come together over the one video. So yeah, hope you're looking forward to it. We're going to put together this beautiful Ravensburger 500-piece puzzle. And also we're going to chat about something that's been on my mind lately, which is retirement. It's such a big topic, isn't it? I've been thinking a lot about what it means to retire. Step away from work and how people actually get there. Let's see if we can get some of these edge pieces. Now, I've seen other jigsaw puzzle YouTube videos and people that do them, and I have to say I do find them all quite rushed. There's a lot of these speed jigsaw puzzle YouTube videos going about, and if you're looking for a speedy jigsaw puzzle completion, then this isn't the right channel for you. So let me just get one of my trays out, because I do like to sort my puzzles by colour as well as by edge pieces. So yeah, retirement. So I was going to share some of my thoughts around it and my experiences and some ideas that might help others whilst we slowly put this jigsaw puzzle together. Retirement can feel really tough. It's not just about money, although that is definitely a big issue. But it's also about identity, I guess. I mean, I've been working in the same job for 30 years. That is a long time. I'm not even sure I know who I would be without my job. And it's difficult for me. I'm 53 right now. I'm not really ready for retirement. I don't want to leave, but I am starting to think about it and think about how am I going to get there? How am I going to achieve retirement? How am I going to live without the income that I'm used to and still support my family? I'm the main wage earner in my home, so you know that carries quite a responsibility. It's just thinking, got one. And it's just thinking, how do we navigate retirement? What are the challenges people face? I'd love to hear your comments below. If you could identify things you've been struggling with or are struggling with right now, or you know, if you've been down this road and you've found solutions that might help others, that would be great to know as well. So finances is a big part, as we said. So many people worry, have they saved enough? I mean, I haven't saved enough at all. I've got a small amount of savings, but it's not a lot. I came out of my pension a long time ago because I don't know, I just didn't have faith in the pension systems as they were. There was lots being said about them at the time, and I just thought, I don't really want to keep putting into something that I may end up not getting much out of. Getting very confused trying to speak and do this puzzle at the same time. It's actually harder than I thought it would be. Putting my pieces in the wrong bits. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I don't know if we would... These are kind of outside pieces. It's just the sky goes very yellowy, and I haven't put them all in there, but I'll put them in. I can always find the others. I do like going back and finding the bits I've missed. There's no race when it comes to doing jigsaws. I mean, there's also the social side. You know, you do get a sense of community at work. I often feel like, you know, people at work, some of them are like really close friends, family. I don't know how you'd describe it, but yeah, I do feel close to people at work. I would miss them if I didn't see them regularly, and you know, you kind of accept that if you, or when you retire, then you're not going to see them so much anymore. So I can't help but start building the middle bits. I'm sure some people don't like to do that, but when I see them, I just have to go with it. Where are we? Might be there. So retirement is kind of a bit of a mixture bag, isn't it, really? I mean, it's exciting, challenging, scary, brings up a whole host of emotions. Certainly the financial side is a worry for me, because like I say, I'm the main wage earner in my house. So it feels important, I guess, to keep that level of support going, or you know, if I'm going to reduce it, it's got to be done really thoughtfully and carefully, so that I don't, you know, I don't know, I just don't want to change our lifestyle too much. We don't have a lavish lifestyle, don't get me wrong, but you know, if we want to go out for dinner, sometimes we can afford to go out for dinner. I do work hard. I've always worked hard. Unfortunately, it's just part of my DNA. Can't really do much about that. That's what I mean, you see, it's part of who I am. My friend recently went down to, well, 2.5 days a week she's doing now. And I know this is probably a common thing that people say, but you know, she said she's just, did not take her long at all to fill her time. She still feels like she doesn't have enough time in the week, even though she's only doing 2.5 days now. So I'm not too concerned that I wouldn't be able to fill my days, because I know I would fill my days. I mean, I can puzzle, I can, you know, read, and I've got hobbies. I like swimming, going out for walks I'd like to do more. So there's lots of things, lots of ways I could fill my time. That isn't a concern. Honestly, I suppose for me it's more the money side of things. I want to get us to a position where, you know, we're not so reliant on my wages. You're definitely coming up there, don't you? So I have started focusing a bit more on saving. I think that's what happens when you get into your 50s. All of a sudden, you realise time's running out. I mean, I was never really a great saver before that. I've got better at saving as I've got older. I mean, in my 20s, saving wasn't even thought about. In my 30s, maybe I started to think a little bit about it, but I wasn't actually achieving anything. And then in my 40s, I started to think, okay, well, I'm going to save for this holiday instead of putting it on a credit card. I had a bit of a mind shift because, I used to just think, oh, well, I'll just put it on the credit card and pay it off later. That's a real, something we all can get into, isn't it? That was my ethos back then. Put it on the credit card, be fine, I'll pay it off. At one time, I actually had £40,000 worth of credit card debt. Can't think how old I was then. It must be 20 years ago. And I remember just feeling absolutely devastated that my credit cards had got so bad. But you know what? I just put my head down and I just thought, right, I've just got to pay them off. I've got to pay them off. There's no other way for it. I've just got to knuckle down, do little, work hard and pay them off. And I did. God, it was a great feeling when I paid them off. But it also taught me, I'm not doing that again. Credit cards. I use them every now and then if the need arises, but honestly, if I use a credit card, I've normally paid it off within a month because I don't like to keep things on a credit card. They help. And I know some people don't have any choice, but it is a downward spiral and it just doesn't do your mental health any good, I don't think. For me anyway, I couldn't. Oh, I'm running out of space, look. Let's move these up here a bit. For me personally, I just couldn't live with credit card debt. Again, it's too stressful. But one of the things I do think a lot about as well is my physical health, because in my job, it's a desk job. I spend all day sitting down, and because I'm quite focused in what I do, I just find myself working through lunch. I get up in the morning, I'm on the laptop 9 a.m. I'm not leaving the laptop till 5 p.m. If I get lunch, it's a 5-minute, or it's I'm sat at the laptop eating it. So I'm not getting the exercise, and I've bought walking machines and all sorts of things to try and get myself more motivated. But I find, I don't know, it's hard to say. It feels like I have a very high-pressured, stressful job, and so I guess I kind of prioritise that really. I'm paid well. I want to make sure I achieve. I want to make sure that everything gets done that needs to be done. I'm always putting myself under pressure to make sure that we hit our targets, or achieve. Always trying to think of the next thing, how we can, make our website better, or just always thinking about work. Well, not always. Okay, that's not quite true. I have got a much better work-life balance now than I used to have. I do try very hard to switch off at 5 o'clock. And I do then now try very hard not to work at the weekends. I do work at the weekends, but it's for an hour, maybe 2. If it's really needed, then of course I'm there. But if I'm really mindful not to spend my weekends working, because I know it's not good for me. But even at the weekends, I'm so tired from not going out walking. I should be. I love it when I do, but it's just not happening very often. So exercise is really something that I feel like if I could achieve my goal of being able to retire one day or just reduce my hours, that's something I'd like to do, become a bit more of a regular. But then again, when I say that, I hear myself saying that and I'm thinking, no, Laurie, you need to be getting this done now. This isn't something you can do in, 10 years. This is something that's got to be happening now. So yeah, that goes round and round in my head. Oops, see, doing it again. And it's nearly there now, these pieces. Get those out. I mean, imagine your ideal retirement. Where do you think you would be? What would you be doing? Who are you with? These are the things I think about. I've got 2 teenagers at home. I've got 4 girls, but 2 of them are left at home still. And they're 18, 19 now. But, they're not going to live here forever. They're going to go off and do their own thing. And I imagine there gets a point where you're like, oh my God, now what? Now what do I do? The thing is that I think about, should I make a bucket list? What things do I want to do when I retire? What's on my mind? But look, see, it's doing it again. I find these little pieces and then I see something that matches them and then I have to get them out because I can't just leave them. Oh, I see, they're up on there. Okay, well, let's just leave those there for now. If you're watching, you are younger, in your 20s or 30s, I would say start saving, start planning. I remember hearing that being said when I was younger, to be honest, and I used to think, I'll be fine. It's okay, I get state pension, but state pension unfortunately doesn't cover that much. It keep you in a very basic lifestyle, but then you spend your whole life, trying to get yourself doing better, earning a bit more so that you can actually enjoy, the odd holiday or time with family, going out for meals or something. And you don't really want to lose all that. I mean, for me, it's just I work hard, but I like time away. I like a break. I think because I work so consistently, I guess, when I'm working, I need that time away because without it, because I work from home a lot, so it never really stops when you work from home. You always, just round the corner from your laptop, so it's very easy to pick it up and get involved again. Though I do try really hard now not to so much. But yeah, it's just, I think, if you start saving early, just small amounts, doesn't have to be massive. I was actually quite impressed. I had for my girls, I think it was a child trust fund, and I think they put £250 in it. And then I left it for a few years, and then I ended up thinking, I'll just put £20 a month in, each one. And then I guess a couple of times I had to stop because I just couldn't afford to do it for a few months for whatever was going on. And then I'd start it again. And, when they got to 18, they both got, £4,000. That was a massive amount of money for them. And it meant that they could, do things they wanted to do, or, buy something, or, they've still got most of it, to be honest. And I think they could end up, putting it on as a deposit on a house or saving it towards being able to do a deposit on a house, which is fantastic, you know. So even that little £20 a month, which I didn't even do consistently, I was just doing as and when I could afford to, because obviously I was doing it for two of them, so it was £40 a month. Oh no, I'm putting some wrong bits in here, aren't I? But it's okay, we'll find them. It's not a problem. With it. So now we're going to get another little tray. I really should have done these straight into the tray, and I wouldn't have caused myself this terrible problem where I have to make them go up the wrong way. So I do like all my pieces to be facing up, but for now, just to clear them, I'm going to move them into here. I do want to start on the outside. I think the other thing that, you know, for me, perhaps stopped me so much thinking about pensions was, you know, my dad died when I was 7, so I mean, he was, you know, in his 40s. And so I kind of, I don't know, I just thought, what's the point in saving for this future you may never have? How do I know I'm not going to die in my 40s? You know, like I say, I'm 53 now, so I've managed to surpass that, but it did kind of leave me with a bit of that feeling of, oh, probably won't even reach old age, what's the point, you know? I think a lot of us do feel like that for one reason or another. Then as you start to approach it and you start to get closer to actual retirement, and you're like, okay, maybe I do need to do something, and actually now maybe I've left it a bit too late because I should have done it a lot sooner. But then I also think, you know, I've had some lovely holidays as a family, and I've had some, you know, I've had lots of nice times away. So if I can't do that so much in retirement, it's not the end of the world, is it? I won't be working. And like I said, when I'm working, that's when I feel I need that time out more. I think perhaps if I wasn't working, I wouldn't feel that so much. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed puzzling along with me. I'm going to do a few more of these. We'll end up working through this whole puzzle together. That's a bit. That's going to go just there. The hardest thing is I'm not going to be able to touch it when I'm not actually with you, because then I end up completing it without you seeing it, and we don't want that. Just going to have a little bit of quiet time now. You can reflect on what we've been talking about, think about how it might impact your life, or how it might change your, you know, outlook on things. Love to get these outside bits done. Been looking after my granddaughter this morning before work. Had her overnight last night, and my mum came and picked her up. So as I'm sitting here puzzling, all I want to do is sing Moana, because we were watching that again this morning. It's our favourite film right now. Actually quite good at seeing pieces. So, I mean, I'm going to... Oh, no, I see, I thought I was going to jinx it then, but actually, no, I can see that bit. Quite good at finding the bits that I want. Not always, but... Tell you what, I've just finished watching Outlander. Oh my god, it's the best series I've ever watched, I swear. I loved it so much. I'm so sad that it's finished. But I know they've got a new season coming out. Well, I think it's the last season. But yeah, it was so good. So if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend watching Outlander. And it's really weird because I actually watched it a few years ago. I put the first episode on. Knowing me as I do, I was probably working at the same time and not really taking any notice, and got to the end and I thought, oh, I don't really understand what that's about. And that was that. And then my friend mentioned it to me a couple of times and said, oh, you should try it again. So I did, and oh my god, obviously no laptop, full attention, and I actually really enjoyed it. Bear with me when I find the odd cat hair. We've got 4 cats, so yeah, I'm a bit of a bugger for laying on my cat board. Just tell me what you think of this style of video. Like I said, when I was looking for videos to watch, there was a lot of time slip, they call them time slip videos, where you'd see somebody doing a jigsaw, but it would zoom through it and music would play, so you couldn't actually engage with puzzle making. And for me, there's a corner bit, there we go. For me, if I wanted to watch videos about puzzles or people doing puzzles, I want want to actually watch it come alive from start to finish. That would be... Well, that bit there can't be hard. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Oh, I'm going to think I've missed it because... Oh, there it is, look. So it's got a bit of yellow on it. Yeah, so I just want to hear and see the full puzzle being done, not just time lapse. That's for me anyway. I mean, everybody's different, aren't they? Some people might not really enjoy this kind of thing. That's okay. Nobody has to stop. Come on. It's starting to come together now. This is when I get excited because it's actually starting to become a proper outside edged puzzle. And that is it, isn't it? It's the building, it's the seeing it come to life. Very unlikely that would go in there, but I'll try it. Right, that's my runner coming out. Trying very hard to keep her in. Alright, which bit are you? Yeah. Oh, there we are. The balloon. Okay, all is well with the world again. Yeah, I was watching somebody doing one of those speed puzzles the other day, and I was thinking, oh, that could be fun. Do these speed jigsaw competitions, I think probably in London, I'm not sure. And I thought, yeah, that could be interesting. I do quite like doing, doing a puzzle, and I could probably do it fairly speedy. And then I watched another girl who actually attempted it herself. She hadn't done it before, and she hated it. And I thought, oh, do you know what? It just looks, it just looks exhausting. I thought the whole point of doing a puzzle is because it's relaxing, and it's a nice, quiet, chill time. I can't find the bit that I want. But yeah, it's a nice, quiet, chill time. And I don't think I'd want to be rushing to get a puzzle done in a certain time. I don't think I would enjoy it. It would take the fun out of it for me. So I'm not going to be doing that, I've decided. Oh, you go over there. Oh, and you go on there. Brilliant. I just like doing a quiet, peaceful, nice time puzzle. And I can make it all come together. Get all the bits to fit where they should. What are you here? What are you doing there? I might have to come back to that one. Okay, that goes there. Goes there. We are nearly there, people. I think I'm going to have a bit missing. That's probably why I got so kerfuddled when I was putting all the bits in. Probably put a wrong bit in here somewhere. And let's keep going so we can get this finished. As much as we can anyway. Is that line done? Don't think these peak ones are here. Oh, look at that. I done the wrong way round. Right, you go in there. Guess you're going to go on there. And you go in there. Yes. Yes. Right, so where's this bit? Can't have that, I'm afraid. Too much. Don't think it's gone in here because these are all, which means it's going to be in this big pile. I'll just start pulling out all the extra bits that I see as I go. Lots of balloons. But I feel like, I'll let you see, there's lots of these thistles. Are they thistles? I think they are. I can't finish this video and not have the last outside edge, because that just would not be right, would it? Come on. Okay, so we're going to need, oh no, I dropped a piece. Going to need another tray. Let's see all coming out. And I'm sure we will find it. I haven't really mentioned, but I generally buy my puzzles from charity shops, or I might find some on Facebook Marketplace. I just tend to pick up second-hand ones, really. Can normally get quite a good deal. And puzzles are so expensive these days. I like to try and be a bit thrifty where I can be. But this one's actually was given to me by my friend, so she paid for it. Brand new, I believe. So this bit should be here. I'm sure of it. To be honest with you, I do, like I say, I do lots of jigsaws that are from the charity shop. It's rare that I find one that has got a bit missing. I can't even remember the last time I found one with a bit missing. You know, it doesn't spoil it for me. I just enjoy doing the puzzle. I still enjoy doing the puzzle, even if there was a bit missing. It's not like the end of my world. It hasn't taken away the enjoyment of me doing the puzzle, so I don't think I'm too worried. Right, I'm going to put that tray away. And then we're going to do this one. I do sometimes organise them into colours, but we can come back to that when we start actually some thistles. Just want to find that outside piece because it's just going to bug me if I don't. only recently watched Moana. I never watched it when my kids were little. I'm not even sure. I mean, they're 18, 19, so I'm not quite sure what year Moana come out, although I kind of remember it being around, I think. But it just wasn't one they ever watched. So it's been quite nice watching it with my little granddaughter. She absolutely loves it. Can't believe this isn't turning up. I do keep finding more balloons. So how do you guys do your puzzles? Do you... I mean, I have to start from the edge, and I know I've seen some people actually start from the middle. I know I did do a few little bits, but there it is. It's the piece, the one we want. Right, let's put you in. Yay! One of the things I've noticed is how I'm always so under pressure. I'm so busy at work. Always feeling like I've got to reply to an email really quickly, or just deal with something as soon as it comes in. I want to try and deal with things as quickly as I can, so as not to hold people up, or I just want to. I like getting results, I guess. So I know it's a pressure I put on myself. To be honest, it's not. Well, I'm not saying there isn't other pressures outside of that, but I definitely know that I put that pressure on myself a lot. And I don't dislike that. I quite like it, really. It's certainly served me well. It's helped me achieve a lot in work, and I think really it's helped me achieve a lot in in life, really. It's not always easy to keep going. There are times when you just think, oh, God, I just can't do this anymore. So having that inner sort of thing that pushes me along has really helped me a lot personally. I am somebody who wants to achieve, and but you don't realise, how sucked you up you get into this pressure, this constant on the go, this constant needing to, there are times when, I think, God, just give myself a break, just chill out a little bit, try and actually take more notice of what's going on and be more present. I think that's something I've really worked to in my 50s a lot more, maybe even in my later 40s, just being more present in the everyday stuff that's going on, being more part of life, if you like, seeing the joy in the smallest stuff. I work at home a lot of the time, but I'm really mindful because I've got two teenagers who have been through lots of different struggles over the past few years. They're both autistic, neurodivergent, as they call it. I think it's probably highly likely that I am as well, but I just wasn't really a diagnosed thing when I was younger, so I've just, I guess I've just adapted. But yeah, so I've made it a real thing that my door's always open, even when I'm working at home. There are times when I have to say, okay, I need to get this project done, so give me a bit of space. But I mean, generally, they come and go. They want to come in and have a 5-10 minute chat. you know, have a bit of lunch with me or something, my door's always open for them. They know that. So I guess that's something that's become important to me. It's just making time, not getting too caught up. Trying to think where that bit is. But yeah, that made me think about doing my puzzle actually, because you do a puzzle, it's a real sort of time to slow down. Gives you a lot of space, time for thoughts to come in and out of your head. You know, it's actually really quite therapeutic for me doing a jigsaw. This pink one, it's there. The pink one comes up here. This one is further down. There is also the heart-shaped one, which I think is this one. Yeah. Which is coming in just next door. It is going on top. Love that. Yeah, it's just a really peaceful time doing a jigsaw. I really get a lot out of it and enjoy having quiet space where I'm not, you know, working, busy, thinking, blah, 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 blah. Head's going 10 to a dozen because I'm just trying to get everything done by a certain period of time and stress, you know. That's what work is really to me. It's just a very busy, stressful, not always stressful. I mean, it is. To be honest, I'm one of these people that I like to just get on and do my job. So all the time I'm just getting on and doing my job and just, you know, getting things done and working through my lists, and I'm happy. But it's when it's like, oh, can you do this meeting? Can you do that meeting? You know, my social battery is zero. I don't have a social battery. It was never filled up from birth, really. I don't do small talk. I really struggle with that. I can't just sit and chat for the sake of. It's just like, no, I can't do it. So yeah, when we have to do meetings, that's when that for me is where it becomes stressful. And to be honest with you, the last year or so, my job has become much more meetings focused, should we say. So they're happening a lot more frequently because we're bringing in a new system. We're bringing in a new system to my workplace, which, yeah, has involved a lot of meetings. So that has created a more stressful environment. I am getting used to it. I don't dread them as much as I used to, must admit. Do I want to do them? No. If I had a choice, no, I wouldn't do them. But you know, I used to like ruin my entire day. And I had a meeting coming up and thinking, oh God, I've just got to sit there and, you know, try and be sociable and think of things to say. And what if they ask me the question, I don't know the answer? And it's, you know, it's just would all just play out in my head. And, you know, I understand they're never as bad as I think they're going to be. I've kind of learnt that over time. I always know what I need to say. You know, it's just it's not something I enjoy doing. Some people love meetings. They could just spend their entire days doing meetings. I swear to God, they just love it. They thrive off it. And that's just not me. I just want to get on and do my actual job. You know. So yeah, that's been a challenge this last year, to be honest. And then, you know, you get that kind of like guilt that you're not doing enough. God, I get that all the time. Not doing enough for the kids, not there enough for my husband, not there enough for my friends, not there enough for my work. You know, just feels never ending sometimes. I feel like it's just not enough hours in the day, and then that's when you end up trying to do things that you really know you haven't got the time for, you really know you can't do, but you don't want to let other people down. But I'm trying to learn to protect my time more, because I do sometimes overstretch myself and put myself in positions which are just, too much, really. And oh, look at that little balloon there. Got another balloon. He does live down here though, so he is going to stay down there. I think that one goes up there, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, and there's that top balloon there, look. So, we need to find this bit here. Oh, there's a little bit there, look. And there. Oh, it's all coming together now. Does that go on there? Yes, it does. Fabulous. I just love building a puzzle. I don't know what it is about it. It's just very therapeutic for me. Love that bit. It's coming in. One thing I've thought a lot about lately as well is friendships. I found friendships really hard. Possibly because I struggle socially, so I find it really hard in the first place to make a friend. I've only really got two friends that I would class as close friends. One of them I've known since school, so we kind of have that bond. But we speak once every few weeks, or can be a few months sometimes. We don't see each other much, maybe once a year, which is lovely. But she's not the same. She's as a young person, she was in my 20s. I'd see her every day. She was very much part of my life, and she's not so much part of my life anymore, which is a real shame. And then I have another friend who I do see, twice a week. She's very much part of my life. And, I would really struggle, I think, without having good friendships. I think they mean everything to me. Having somebody there you can just talk to about, meaningful stuff that's going on in your life. And she's very much like me. She doesn't like rubbish chit chat and talking about the weather. We just don't do that. I'll talk so much more about actual life stuff going on. But it's something I've really tried hard to instill in all of my children, all four of my girls, and I think they've never really got it, I guess. Maybe I've just made it too much of a thing. I don't know. I don't think they really get it. Perhaps being neurodivergent themselves, they also struggle with friendships. But it's good. I think they felt I put too much pressure on, them trying to have a friend. They've all had friends at school and stuff. I guess for me, it's just been a really important part of my journey, really, I guess, throughout life. Having those friendships is really, when the chips are down, having somebody on the other end of the phone. But maybe that comes from the fact that I don't really have that in a family way. I don't really have that support group above me, I guess. Whereas, my children do have that support group in me and my husband. So maybe friends was more important to me because I didn't have that support network like they have. I guess that does make sense, really. I haven't really thought about it like that before. Oh, love it when I get a bit like that together. Where did that one go? I know that one was there somewhere. That's it. Yeah. Something else I've really noticed in this last year, I've really started to declutter. I'm quite a hoarder, really. I collect stuff and I like having stuff around. And I've kept on hold of stuff for far too long because I just didn't want to get rid of it. But now I'm really starting to let things go, and oh my God, it's actually so nice. I think I just keep thinking, God, if I was to die tomorrow, my children have got to deal with all this rubbish that I've left behind, all this clutter that I've put together and not dealt with. That doesn't seem very fair. So, and also I think, I think about, we're going to need to move one day, maybe downsize, get, a bungalow or something. But I sound old, don't I? But you start thinking about these things in your 50s. You don't think about them really prior to that so much. All of a sudden, these things become important. And I think I must say they're the best thing for me about being this age is not caring what other people think anymore. Oh, that is so refreshing. I just, yeah, I used to worry so much about stuff, and I get it, I think it's just there's no way I think of getting yourself there any quicker. It just kind of is a process you have to go through. But I just look at my girls, and how much they worry about, what's going on or what's been said, or nobody liked my video, or I don't know, all these kinds of things, which I get because I would have felt exactly the same at their age. But now I'm just like, I really don't care, I don't care what people think of me. I am who I am. I know I'm a good person. I do the best I can with what I've got, and I can't do any more than that. I can't try and be something I'm not. I can't try and fit into what other people want me to be. I'm done doing all of that. This is me. This is who I am. If you take me as I am, and that's such a nice feeling. Honestly, I cannot tell you how nice it is to just not care what everybody else thinks of you. Not worry about it, not have to even give it any thought, it's just lovely. It's something that I think is just really nice to get to that point in life where you're just happy with who you are And I just, I just wish that young people could get there sooner, because they don't realise how much time they waste worrying about other people and worrying about what other people are thinking and worrying. Oh my God, it's just exhausting. I know, like I say, it is what it is, and we all go through it, but God, if there was just a magic way of getting them to think, you know what, actually, I don't need to spend the next 20 years worrying about everybody else. I'm just going to actually do my own thing. That would be lovely. It's just such a shame, really, that they waste so much time, or that I wasted so much time worrying about it all the time. There's lots to be said for being this age, I must say. I'm running out of these sky pieces. Where am I going to go next? Something I have noticed lately is I've started sleeping better, and I really can't work out why that is. I feel like actually finish one of my trays, but then I might have to move some of these over. Yeah, I feel like for months and months and months, my sleeping pattern was really difficult. I just, I was a scroller. I'd literally get into bed at like 11, and then I could probably still be there. Oh no, that didn't fit on there. Look at that. I'd still be there at you go there. Yes, you do. Lovely. Oh, you come down here, look. Oh, I love it when it starts coming together like that. You can go up there. And you're coming down here, I think. And what about you? Oh, you're there, look. Loving it. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, bedtime. I've really started sleeping better. I used to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, and sometimes I would just get up because I just think it's ridiculous. I'm laying here trying to sleep, and it's just not happening. It's 3 a.m, and you know what? I'm just going to get up for an hour and watch telly until I feel like I need to sleep again. And that would be quite a constant for me. My husband used to comment, that he'd wake up at 3 a.m. and I'd be gone. But this last couple of months, I'd say, it's got better. I don't understand why or what I've done to make that happen. It's very bizarre. I mean, the only thing I can think of that's changed is that I was taking something called Zapane because I had 4 slip discs in my back a couple of years ago. So for the last couple of years, I've been taking Zapane most nights, really. Started off obviously during the day and nights, and then lately, the last year or so, it was just at night. And then, I suppose a couple of months ago, I did think, I don't want to keep taking this. It's, not good to keep taking too much medication all the time. Do I really need it anymore? So I stopped. So maybe that's impacted. Although I always thought Zapane was sort of there to help you sleep, not keep you awake. But I don't know if you had any experiences with that. Did it affect you at all? Definitely sleeping better now, so I'm really pleased about that because it's been so much nicer. Honestly, lack of sleep is such a stressful thing. I literally went to my daughter's yesterday because she's got a little girl, my granddaughter, and she just rang me and said, "Oh, I've not slept in 3 nights, Mum. I'm just really exhausted." She just doesn't want to sleep. So I went over and got her and had her overnight. And she didn't sleep too badly. I was still tired this morning because obviously she did keep me awake a bit more than normal. But, I understand how my daughter would be feeling because that lack of sleep is just, you just can't function. And it just makes you really miserable, I like these bits, look. It's not fitting there though. But I quite like them. Don't really know what it is I like about them, but there's something nice about them. I don't think there's that many. Nice bit of a balloon. I love finishing a balloon off. I know we've still got this bit here, but it's very satisfying getting a balloon to that point. Actually, I've just seen the rainbow on this picture. That's going to have to come in at some point. Something I would like to know, how do you guys get yourself motivated to walk more? I've tried so many things and I've kind of come to the conclusion that I just don't want to walk more. But when I do it, I do actually enjoy it. I like getting out of the house. I actually like going out for a walk at night. I think that's half my problem, is I like going out for a walk at night, and problem is, it's a sort of mixture. Sometimes I'm just too tired and I think, oh, even though it's nice and dark now. Plus I don't really like going out on my own in the dark. So then I've got to convince my husband to come with me. And then sometimes he's trying to convince me to go with him. So I don't know, it's probably just not the ideal time, but I do like going out in the evening. I feel like if I could just get myself into the routine of that, that would be the answer. Always looking for the answer. What is it that's, what is that thing I'm missing? Why am I not doing what I want to do? I know I want to walk more. I know it would make me feel good. I know it would help me lose a little bit of weight. I know it would make me feel healthier. I know all these things. I know I'm not walking enough because I'm working, and so I'm in a desk job, and so I find it frustrating that I can't just. It's funny, isn't it? When I feel like I'm quite successful in my job, and I'm quite successful. I'm happy in my life, and managed to get myself to where I want to be. But when it comes to actually getting out that door, doing some physical exercise, I just can't do it. Don't want to do it. It's not happening. I don't know what the answer is, but it frustrates me because I just can't. It's like a block somewhere. And I have done it. I mean, I think last year there was a whole month where I got myself into the routine of going out, probably not every night, but nearly every night I was going out for a walk, and I was loving it. And I don't know, it just seems to stop. Can't seem to just keep that momentum going. What do you guys do to try and keep yourselves walking, keep yourselves being active, getting out there? Is there like a magic answer somewhere that somebody can tell me? Because I'd love to know it. Love to think, yeah, that's it. That's what I need to be doing. That's what I've been missing all this time. It's very relaxing doing a puzzle. I wonder what this thing is on my hand actually. It's actually, I've forgotten what it's called, but I've got like a little strain in my thumb. And so I've had this on now for about, I don't know, 10 weeks maybe. And it really helps. It's really helping. It's making it not hurt, but it's not actually necessarily getting it any better. So I don't know if I'm going to have to wear it forever, because as soon as I take it off, I think, right, well, okay, I've had it on a few weeks now, I'll take it off. No, you know, I just keep going through that scenario. I don't know if it's arthritis or something, probably. I fancy being at an age where I've got to talk about arthritis. Blimey. I start seeing it coming together now. Another one of those little nice bits. There's a bit of a balloon. What's this bit? I'm really loving 500-piece puzzles at the moment. I don't know. I think I can get them completed quicker. So 1,000-piece puzzle can sometimes sit around a bit longer. I quite like the feeling of thinking, oh yeah, I've completed that one, I can move on to the next. So I'm really enjoying them. Oh, look at that. Loving that. Got that. Yes, it does. I'd really like to know how you guys find it, just watching me puzzle. I mean, find it, you know, do you prefer it when there's lots of noise and fast reels of videos of puzzles being done, or do you quite like this sort of more calming, peaceful, just watching the puzzle get completed from start to finish? That's what we will be doing. We're getting it all the way to the end, and then once it's done, we can start another one. Pink. Oh, there we go. I think that is down a bit more, yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. Love the joining. So that is going a bit more down. Must actually connect here. Yes, it does. Right. And then this is coming in. There we go. Something very satisfying about getting a connection. And you connect the bits. Something that's already attached to the edge, or even if it's just close to the edge, you know it's actually progressing. So what's your favourite puzzles? I've heard a lot about, I want to say, they're called Wentworth puzzles. I've never done one, I've never had one. I looked on eBay the other day and I thought, wow, they're really expensive, even to get a second-hand one. I think they're wooden pieces. What are they actually like though? Do you enjoy them? Have you done one? Is it a case of once you've done one of those, you can't ever do anything else? I will try one of these days. I might ask for one for Christmas actually. Even though we have got another year to wait. Yes, you go there. You go there. You were not sure about maybe there. Maybe there. Don't know how you're coming in there. Okay, that works. feel like I'm making good headway now. That's what I like about the 500 pieces. Just being able to, you know, get quite far in a short space of time. I've got quite a lot of 1,000-piece puzzles there, which you'll get to see over the next few months. Doing this channel will actually motivate me to get through them a bit quicker. That's really good. Where that goes, this one must go here. Let's sort of those colours in, yeah. I think I've got any other pieces. Oh yes, I have. There's a few in here. I'm going to find loads I like in here. I quite like it when I have to put them away in the drawers because then I forget about them. And then when they come out, I'm like, oh, hello, been looking for you. Oh look, the head of the stalk there. Oh, looking all around there. Oh, actually there is another little. No. Okay, I'll keep you there for now. Getting nice and done there. Just need this bit here. Oh, that's you. In you go. Where these bits are going? Not sure. Oh, there we go. Goes in that way. Possible goes in there, but not sure. Have you ever done this puzzle before? Be nice to know. Let me know in the comments how you found it. I'm actually really enjoying it. I do like puzzles that have got quite nice colour. Quite a lot of colours, and this is that kind of vibe with all the balloons and it's funny, you know, as well. When I do a puzzle, one of my favourite parts to do is the sky. I don't know why, I just love doing the sky. Come on, where do you go? Oh, you got there, don't you? There you go. Yeah, I just really enjoy putting the sky bits together. Not much sky on here because it's all full of balloons, but that's lovely too. I've enjoyed that. My favourite, I've got a few, about, I don't know, about 8 Thomas Kincaid. There you go. Yeah, I've got 8 Thomas Kincaid jigsaws. There you go, you're in there. And I used to love doing them. I still do, but they're quite hard. Yeah, I know it's going to take us a while to get to when we do a Thomas Kincaid. The pictures are beautiful, and I love cottages and scenes like that. It's one of my favourite types of puzzle to do. But you go in that way. Look at that. But yeah, tell me what puzzles you like to do. And can you recommend any to me? I'm a big fan of Ravensburger and Gibson's. I love those. But I suspect there's lots of quirky little brands out there that I haven't really ventured into. Like I say, I tend to pick mine up from charity shops, so it's generally just what's about what I'm coming across. It's starting to fill up now. Oh, straight away. Wondering where that might go. Just wondering how many other people are out there right now doing puzzles. Do you like it when the bits just start to... There we go. Go in. Okay. I was thinking today about noticing our inner voice more, thinking about what it's saying to us all the time. Sometimes when we're busy and things are going on, I don't think we even really tune into it. It's probably saying things, we're just not really taking it in. But I find a lot of the time it can be quite hard on ourselves. Should be doing more. Should have done this. Should have done that. Why have we forgotten to do this? Or, you know, we just tend to, I think, sometimes speak quite harshly to ourselves, and we just have to really be mindful of what we're saying, of what that inner voice is saying to us. Is it? I always think, if it's not something I would say to a friend, then I shouldn't be saying it to myself. Would I be making my friend have a hard time if I knew they hadn't got something done they wanted to do? Of course I wouldn't. I'd be saying, don't worry, it's always tomorrow. So why am I giving myself a hard time? Why am I letting that little voice inside me make me feel bad about everything, or make me feel that I should be doing this or should be doing that? I can only do what I can do. it's really important to listen out for it. So maybe today when you're doing things or doing a puzzle even, or looking after the kids, and you're finding yourself with this whole, oh, you should have done this and you should have done that, just think, would I be giving my friend a hard time about this right now if they hadn't done something? Or would I be saying, no, don't worry, it's okay. It's okay you didn't get that done. It's a tricky bit. I feel like it shouldn't be that hard to place. Oh, there we go. Not many of those kind of colours left. I do wonder where that voice comes from sometimes as well, I think. But, you know, I didn't really have a, well, okay, my mother was never really one to be harsh, but my father definitely, no, well, my stepdad actually, but yeah, my stepdad was constantly criticising, constantly telling me I would amount to nothing and all these kinds of things. Unfortunately, when you're young, you do listen, you do take it in, and you do, I think, then maybe that is where this inner voice comes from. It is all those years. Oh, is that a bit of butterfly? No. That's a bit of balloon, isn't it? Bear with. There we go. Yeah, I think we get told that we're rubbish and we're nothing and we won't amount to anything. Do you start to believe that? It's quite hard to break free from. So it's really important, I think, that we start to listen to that voice and think about, where does that come from? Who is that in my head now, telling me I'm rubbish, or telling me I've not done something right, or telling me I should have done better? Who is that? Because they're not allowed to be there. It's time to tell them to move out. They're no longer required. Maybe you could just sit and think about that for a little while. What voices are in your head? What are you told you should have done or shouldn't have done? Or how often are you feeling bad about something? When realistically, you know you did everything you could. This is how I like to do my puzzles. I would normally have sorted them a little bit more into colour, but to be honest, this puzzle is got so many different colours because of all the different balloons. I think it wouldn't have been so easy to do. So once I've got to this stage and all the outside is done, I just start pulling out one bit at a time and seeing if I can make it fit somewhere. It's actually really comforting to know that People are out there watching me as I do my jigsaw. It's quite nice. Makes you feel a little less alone, I think. Oh, sweet. Oh, yeah. Okay, I knew it. I did a little short yesterday. It was just basically to say that as you watch me do these jigsaws, I'm going to give them away at the end so that somebody else can get the joy of doing them. So anybody who comments on the video, I will put them in for the giveaway so that once I finish, so the last video I do, which will be obviously when I complete it, anybody who's commented on any of the videos whilst I was making it will be put in for the giveaway, and then I shall announce who the lucky person is and I will send them the jigsaw. This is the Ravensburger puzzle Air Balloon Valley, 500 pieces. I think I said before I do love 500 pieces, but I have got a lot of 1,000-piece ones as well. If you see my shorts, they're just going to take us a bit longer to get through, aren't they? But that's okay. It's quite nice now, but I know I'm not doing it on my own. I do find I am the kind of person who just likes somebody doing these kinds of things with me. I should probably join some sort of jigsaw club, but you know, I'm still working full time right now, so maybe that's a future plan. I can't believe I'm still singing Moana in my head as I'm puzzling. It certainly sticks with you, the songs. Oh, come on. You look like you could have gone in there. No. No, no, no. Well, we're nearly at the end of this tray. Hoping I might find one more. Okay. One more. Oh, this one's got to be easy. Yep. There's a few places this could go. That's going to be trickier to place. Surely this one could go in somewhere. There's not many places with that kind of white. It looks like, oh, okay. There we go. Anyway, have a think about what we've talked about today, and hopefully you can come away from this video and think that today you will be kinder to yourself. You will say kind words and give yourself a break. Remember, you are doing the best that you can with what you have. You cannot do any more than that. Still making progress with this jigsaw. It is starting to come together. Got a bit there. It's lovely to have you join me again. It's actually really comforting knowing that I have you with me whilst I do these puzzles. I'm really enjoying that. And I hope it's nice for you too, knowing that you're not alone. Knowing that somebody's in this with you. I was going to talk a little bit today about what I spoke about last time, which was this whole I should have done this or I should have done that. And actually how it can be quite unhelpful for us sometimes to put ourselves under that pressure, thinking that we'll all make mistakes. That is, oh, look at that lovely bit in there. Lovely. And there. We all make mistakes in life. But I do think it's really important that when we think about those things, we remember that we did the best we could with what we had at that time. Yes, if we could go back, maybe we would do things differently. Maybe people have got hurt as a result of something we've done. Maybe we've hurt ourselves. More likely, I think, sometimes, as a result of decisions we've made that haven't been the best for us. But living in the I should have world is just a really unhelpful world to live in. I know all of us, everybody listening could probably think back to something in their lives and think, oh, I should have done that differently, or I should have said that differently, or I shouldn't have made that decision at that point in my life. But I also am a great believer in that we end up where we're supposed to be. You know, I think life takes us on a little expedition, and there's quite a lot of ups and downs along the way. But eventually, if we pick up on all of the lessons that come along, because there are a lot of lessons that come along in life, if we can pick up on those, and if we can actually really tune into them, really listen and think, yeah, no, next time I need to do this way. If we can really pick up on all those little life lessons that come along, that serves us really well. I think eventually we get to, where we need to be. And we judge ourselves so harshly, it's so easy to just look back and say, oh, why did you behave like that? Why did you make that decision? But yet, if we sat there with a friend and a friend was saying, oh, I've done this, and you'd be so different, you'd be so understanding of their situation and just wanting to support them through it. And that's how we need to behave with ourselves. We need to support ourselves through those difficult bits, not judge ourselves. We are often our biggest critic. But I think as you get older, you do start to let go of that a little bit, I think, which is a good thing. Oh no, that's bugging me now because it's got just a little bit of there we go. Yeah. So I really want you to think about, what do you give yourself a hard time over? Where do you think, oh, I should have done this, or I should have done that, or what decisions have you made lately or a long time ago that you're still holding on to, still giving yourself a hard time for? And what do you think you could do to help let that go? Sometimes I think we get stuck. We get stuck in that, thinking that that decision has defined our entire life, or that what happened, what happened that was out of our control has defined our entire life. But it's not really the reality, I don't think. I think we can hold on to these things, and we can, give ourselves a hard time or believe that that's it. Nothing can change now, but that's not the reality of life. Life is an ever evolving, ever changing thing. And sometimes we just need to let go of the past. Accept that what happened, happened. And it's too late to change that, but the future is important. That's a lovely bit. Getting yourself to a point where you feel happy with, your life and who's in your life, who's part of your life. Feeling happy in yourself every day, not feeling dragged down by somebody else, not putting up with stuff that is not okay. I think if we can learn to tune into that part of ourselves, not the inner critic, but the inner voice, the inner intuition, that's the part that knows what's best for us. We know what's best for us. It's in there. I think we just learn to turn that off. We just learn to not listen. I can't tell you how many times I've gone into, a relationship or a friendship, and I've not in a very short space of time I thought, this is not right for me. 5 years later, I'm still there. Like, what is that all about? Why have I ignored that voice that knew that that wasn't right for me? Why has it taken me all of that time? But now when I look back, I think, they were lessons. It's part of something I had to go through for whatever reason. I learned lessons from everything that's gone on. All of the relationships I've had, and that hasn't been that many, but, the relationships that haven't served me well. They came along for a reason, but I wish, I like that. I wonder if we can find this little one here. Oh, hang on, what's this one? Lovely. I like getting these bottom bits down, because I just like having a little complete line. I like thinking, all right, yeah, that section is now complete. Like, this top section is now complete. And look at this one. This has got 4. Oh, it's a shoe. No, it's definitely not you. Okay, well, we will find you. But life is a bit like a puzzle, isn't it? You just got to get all the bits together, all the right bits. When you're putting the wrong bits in, it's just not working. And something, a sign saying, this is just not working. I want you to think about that. Have you got anything in your life that's just not working right now? Maybe you need to be thinking about changing things. Or maybe just, sometimes it's just about having the hard conversations, isn't it? And finding if there's space to move forward. Try and get a bit more of the puzzle done today. Don't feel like it's going to take that much longer now to get this puzzle finished. But let's see how we do today. Oh, that was nice. A rock there. I was just trying to think about what we could talk about today. And I was thinking of sharing something about inner child. I don't know if any of you have ever come across that terminology, but when I was going through therapy, I did quite a bit of work on inner child stuff. Oh, lovely. The last one of that tray. Let's see where my other tray is. I've got one more left of bits here, I'm sure. Oh, it can't just be those bits on the table. Right, oh, no, there we go. I knew I had another one somewhere. So, yeah, I was just thinking about actually how helpful I found that, doing work around the inner child. And I do believe that's, one of the things that really helped me build my self-esteem, I think. Actually start to have more faith in who I was and actually start to like myself a bit more. So if any of you have ever done any work around the inner child, I'd love to hear about it and how you found it and whether you felt it sort of impacted on you. Because I think the thing is, there's lots of different kind of theories and different types of self-help, I guess, and counselling and all those kinds of things. And I think everyone's different. I know I had a friend who had is it called EMDR, where you do the tapping. Now I had EMDR and I didn't find it helpful for me. I don't know why that was. But I know they thought it was amazing and it really sort of changed everything for them. So I know these things work for different people. Now, I've got to find these little bits now because this bit here must be in this tray. Yes, there it is. This bit here must be in this tray. Yes, there it is. And this bit here. Yeah, nearly there. Just got this last one here. And there it is. Lovely, look at that. So that's now all completed. I do love seeing it all start to come together. Nice yellow one up there. But yeah, for me, I did some work on the inner child, which was around, I guess, reparenting yourself. It was, did a lot of work around imagining a little me and then putting her in some of the situations that I had been in as a younger person. But instead of her being on her own, I was actually there to help protect her and to help, remind her that she wasn't alone. And I found that really powerful. I mean, it happened over a few months of just sort of, I used to just sort of, lay in bed and just imagine things that had happened in the past, and how little me would have felt at that time, and how hard that would have been having nobody there support me, to understand what was going on. So for me to be able to imagine that and then bring my adult self in and let her know that she was okay, let her know that I was going to be there for her going forward, let her know that, you know, I've got another empty tray, let her know that she wasn't alone anymore. For me, that was really, really powerful stuff. That's what changed things. That's when I started to think, you know, I was starting to feel better about myself, I guess. Starting to realise I wasn't alone because I had myself. I could parent myself. I could be there for myself. I could fill in those gaps that had been left behind. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, I still find it hard sometimes. I mean, you know, my dad died when I was 7, as I said, and I don't really remember him, to be honest. But it's like if I see, or I'm watching a program and there's it's actually making me emotional thinking about it, but you know, there's a scene and there's a father and a daughter and they've got a really strong bond. That just gets me every time. I just think, God, how different would my life have been if I had have had that. But that again is the whole should have thing, isn't it? You know, and you can't live like that. You can't ever stop yourself feeling it, but I have to just remind myself and say, you know what, okay, that wasn't what I had. That's okay, because I had other stuff. I had, you know, yeah. Life is an ongoing, I wouldn't say battle there, but I don't really mean battle because it's not a battle, it's just an ongoing learning curve, shall we say. And I do think the big part of it is getting our thoughts into the right place. Because when we're thinking, you know, when our thinking is all skewered and we're thinking bad thoughts and we're in a negative mindset, then that's really hard to get out of. That's really hard to move forward with. It's coming along great guns now. I think we're actually going to finish this one. It's funny when you get to those last few pieces, it all just kind of starts to come together. But yeah, I will be giving this jigsaw away. I'll be giving all my jigsaws away actually, because I'm constantly buying new jigsaws. I think I said in an earlier video that I tend to pick them up from charity shops or thrift stores, as they call them in America, just in case anybody from America is watching. But yeah, I shall be giving this video away to if you put some comments in the comments box, I shall choose somebody and I'll get this puzzle on its way to you, because we are literally just about done. There we go. And the very last piece. Let me put these trays away. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for helping me get this puzzle done. And I'll be starting my next one soon. Take care. Bye.